E aku nui, e aku rahi, kia koutou no ngā tōpito o te ao, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Ko Kaye Maree Dunn tōku ingoa, he uri ahau no te tai tokerau, no Wukianga Whakapau Karakia, no Pangaru, no o Māpere, no Ngāti Kahu, i te taha o tōku mama, no Ngāti Kahungunu, Ngai Tāmanu Heri, me Ngāti Mahanga. Ngā mihi nunui kia koutou katoa. Today, I'm really privileged to firstly acknowledge all of you that have come. I also wish to acknowledge the Emirati people, the tangata whenua, or local people of this land. And I also wish to take an opportunity today to speak about the potential of e-commerce and what that means to us as Indigenous people, but also to our whānau households. And one of the things that I've been thinking about since I arrived here just a few days ago was our role as entrepreneurs being on this land and learning from the people and all of the other speakers that we've been exposed to. And the big question that I've had is, how do we be a good ancestor, particularly for future generations? And I just want to take an opportunity to mihi to the lead of our delegation, Ngāhiwi Tomoana, who has been very intentional about our purpose here, which is about building relationships rather than creating transactional connections and just be about business. And I think that's very important for us because our leaders here are helping to open the door, but it's us as young entrepreneurs and hustlers to actually go through the door and make things happen. So just thank you to all of our leaders that have helped us build the bridges into new lands, into new territories. My story actually starts off, and I only have a short period of time, but I just want to acknowledge my whānau. And that's me, I'm the little baby there, and how influences help set us up in life. Now, unfortunately, that was the last time until I was 23, until I got to meet my father. And it wasn't very long after I was born that my mother passed away. So I was then whānau'd or gifted into my auntie's whānau, and I was raised by a completely different set of family in a place called Fielding by the people of Ngāti Kauwhata and Ngāti Pikiahu Waiwai. I'm also the youngest of 11 on my mother's side, actually 10 now. My elder sister passed away 2 years ago. But my family and their experiences and also trauma has influenced my life and my decisions as a businesswoman. And so 5 years ago, we re-established and thought about how might we bring our gifts, our skills as a whānau, in particular myself and my elder brother Mita, and bring what we know together to help make the world a better place. So we co-created this company called Making Everything Achievable, which is an acronym, which is a longer description of an acronym called MEA. And often in te reo Māori, we talk about he aha te mea o te ao, pass the mea, and mea basically means anything or everything, and therefore we wanted to be nimble and agile enough to be able to do work that we love, but most importantly, that makes an impact. So we are an Indigenous social impact agency, and we're designed to basically make the world a better place. And in that, we have a team of 15 kaimahi or virtual staff that help us do this work, do this mission of making the world a better place. But actually, digital technologies has helped us 10x and amplify our reach and our influence, not only in Aotearoa, but actually around the world. And so part of our role as MEA is we help to amplify whānau, family, hapu, sub-tribe, tribal stories. We also do our utmost to help protect our communities, especially in regards to COVID-19. We help to promote and support Māori enterprises, and of course we help make everything achievable. I'm also the co-founder of a digital innovation called Āhau, and Āhau is a decentralised repository or archival system for genealogy and also our stories. I don't have the opportunity to talk about that in detail now, but I do hope later on in our panel I will. But also if anyone is interested in genealogy and keeping your knowledge safe, do come and have a yarn with me later. So part and parcel of our work as MEA is our design approach, and we have strategic partnerships and relationships that help us do what we do. So we've been in a strategic partnership with an organisation called Te Whare Huka Huka, which specialises in governance and also Indigenous training. And one area in particular that we wanted to move into was e-commerce. And for those of you that don't know what e-commerce is, essentially it is about the electronic means of buying and selling goods online. One thing I just want to hone in on is that e-commerce is more than a website. So no, you don't just build a website and traffic will come, it's actually an entire system. And COVID turned our world absolutely upside down. And so for many of our communities, whānau, they lost their jobs and or were in the midst of losing their jobs. So what we saw actually was a massive explosion of new digital businesses, digital platforms, digital mechanisms, new businesses popping up on Facebook, trying to sell their products, their goods, and especially led by whānau from their homes. We also saw a growth of online e-commerce stores or e-commerce platforms. I just want to acknowledge the team from 5,000 Tribes that were looking at creating more ways for us as Indigenous people to trade our goods and services. But part of our role with Te Whare Huka Huka was to look at how do we build and connect and enable strategic partnerships to help support and power up e-commerce businesses. So we negotiated a global partnership with Shopify, one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world, to help garner their skills, their knowledge, to help us support our businesses on the ground. And our role has been to help build an e-commerce ecosystem, a group to support, power up, and develop these home-based businesses to grow. So Āhau is an Indigenous e-commerce training program. We have Indigenous leaders from around the world that pop in every week. It's a 12-week program to help share their skills, their knowledge, and also the challenges that they face in leading out their e-commerce business. The reason why we've honed in on this particularly is because the vision of Te Whare Huka Huka is to help support, grow and lift up 10 million Indigenous peoples. And we feel the fastest way to be able to alleviate poverty is to focus in on growing the household income. If you can grow the household income, that has a multiplier effect and, again, enables you to have more money, more options, more choices. The program was designed for individuals either new to business, already in business, and those that really wanted to grow and develop their ability to transact online. It was designed to be done online, part-time, but what makes this particular program unique is that we utilise kaupapa Māori or Māori approaches and values to the way that we operate, which means that we learn in groups, we support one another as a whānau, as a family, and we ensure that every step of the way as groups are learning, that we're there, that we can walk beside them and help hold their hands, because it's a new language, it's a new approach, and it's a completely different way of operating rather than people having bricks and mortar businesses. And so here are a few of our students, and I'd like to, we just saw Teresa, who just presented earlier, and it's awesome that I've been able to work beside many of these individuals, but also help support them in growing their skills and capabilities in e-commerce. And so Teresa, as you heard before, Māori Women's Development Inc. have created a digital platform. I'd like to say that part of that had been inspired by what she had learned in the Āhau program. In my team that I'm helping to lead out, Team Pono, kia ora koutou, I have Richard Jones, and Richard Jones was also previously the head of Potama Trust for 30 years, but now he's come on our program as a student, and it's been really amazing to see how he's learning the art of e-commerce to help take his amazing kawa kawa beverage taha to the world. We've got young people in the program, and we also have individuals that have grown their business exponentially as a result of the work that we've been able to do with them as well. including, if any of you know, Shane Cameron, who is a Olympic boxer. He's also been one of our students. And again, the main thing here is to help exponentially grow their business. So just quickly, what did this program look like last year? We're 3 years in. Last year we had 285 apply, and towards the end, because not everyone gets through, we had 43 launch their store. This year we had 2,632 applicants. Of that, we've had 260 participants. So we've 100x grown, but also we gave away over $1.5 million worth of scholarships to be able to participate in the program. So it's a 412% growth in the program and in the training. You can imagine how many new businesses we're taking out into the world. The majority of those that we're serving are young Māori women aged between 35 and 44 who've had no or little experience with e-commerce. We're not only serving people in Aotearoa, and they're all over the country, but we also have students from the US, Australia, India, South Korea, and also in the Pacific. We've got a very wide range of ages participating in our training program, actually younger than 18, and our eldest is 65 plus. And the range of businesses that we have the privilege of supporting are either in healing, they're coaches, teachers, some of them sell crystals, we've got artists, we've got photographers, we've got those that are in food and beverage, we've got those in tourism. So it's very, very broad, very, very wide, and so it's quite tricky to try and design a program that's going to meet this, this really wonderful, varied cohort. But the impact, and this is the impact from last year, as a result of the program, those that actually finished and opened their stores either made a minimum of $50 or grew close to $2,000 worth of income within their businesses. Now that was within the first week of opening their digital store. However, this is the numbers when we look at what impact are we having between close to $7,000 and close to $30,000 worth of new income as a result of the teaching and the training that we've exposed our students to. And we've had a range of different groups and businesses that have been positively impacted. Again, 75% launched their own e-commerce store. 84% really appreciated the learning. Where they were before, 3.7%, and 8% later in regards to what they've learned and what they've been able to apply. And also, how satisfied were they with the program? Pretty good. We've also had a significant impact nationally in regards to the businesses that we've been able to touch, but also we've been quite strategic this year in partnering with iwi, with tribes, so that they can also help us. We can help equip them with the training, but the next stage, which is where they'll need capital, they'll need support, is where we're hoping that we can foster those relationships with our tribal entities so they can continue to support their whānau to grow and develop their businesses. So the key learnings that I wish to share with you all today is, so what? Who cares? But actually digital technologies, and if they're well harnessed, enables the ability for us as Indigenous peoples to create a wide range of new possibilities. You will see an exponential growth in new work streams, in particular virtual administration, content creation, blogging, marketing, communications, but also the ability for us to be able to work from home. And that, I think, is one of the most magnificent parts and opportunities that e-commerce offers. But my call to action, and in particular on a domestic front to our New Zealand government and those potential funders in the room, I wish to ask, please support what works. Invest in us, invest in our people, and let us do what we do best. I would like us to get much better at promoting and supporting Indigenous-led businesses. And the best way to do that is put your hand in your pocket, pull the money out, and actually spend your money with these businesses. Of all the things I will encourage, buy local, buy Indigenous, buy Māori. That's the way that you can actually make a great difference right away. Continue to make it easier for us to trade globally and with other Indigenous people. So I wish to acknowledge the team from New Zealand Trade and Enterprise, Minister Nanaia Mahuta, who is busy on the international front, building and forging relationships for us to be able to trade more effectively with new partners and new friends. And so having tariff-free trading is really awesome for small businesses because it means that they're not lumbered with more cost. We need to redesign and control capital flows, and so I wish to acknowledge Teresa and the team from Māori Women's Development Inc., Potama Trust. Some of our iwi are also starting to invest in small to medium enterprise, but it's not enough. And so one thing I'd love to encourage is that our governments actually support and develop and foster social impact funding, more funding for capital expenditure for our businesses to grow, not just programs. Our people need money and they need to buy stuff, and we need to get behind them and help them there. Also increase investment in whānau-led enterprises, and also for all of us, everyone, we need to build our capability and capacity in understanding the potential of technology. It's no longer an excuse to be afraid of technology. We have to embrace it. It's part of the world, and we could actually learn to master it and help take us further across the globe. My final question is, how might we take all of these amazing 200 plus Māori-led businesses to help support you, the Emirati community, those of the United Arab Emirates, and also other Indigenous nations? How can we actually do business with you? We're ready to rock and roll. We want to build friendship first, and we also wish to do business. Nō reira, kia koutou. Thank you for listening. I hope that it's been helpful. Kia ora tātou katoa.